Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High and His only begotten Son. Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone and Ruel, Wal Brakatham to the hopeful elect. Alright, now today through the Spirit is going to be a cool lesson entitled The Revelation 13 MOTB, or the mark, is physical. Alright. There is a spiritual mark too, which the remnant is gonna have. All right, which is gonna be the exemption from judgment. They're gonna have the seal. It's gonna be the names that Yahweh Bashim Shai in their minds. They're gonna have belief on those names spiritually. While you have the actual physical mark, which the people who aren't of the elect are gonna receive, and this is gonna cause them to be destroyed. And there's no repentance for taking this, because that means that you're worshiping the beast, and the beast is this revival Romanian Empire, NATO and the EU, and the European Union or European Common Market, ultimately ruled by Esau Edom. You know that little serpent grew into a great dragon, this big beast, lawless as people, man. All right, now they are a great red dragon, but the point of this lesson is going to be going into how the Revelation 13 and 16 is physical. And then going back to the spiritual mark and just showing how that one is spiritual. But this we're going to start at Revelation 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, which is that beast that we were just spoken about. All right, this revival Romanian Empire, NATO and the EU. Okay, ruled by Esau Edom, who started off as a little serpent, grew into this great red dragon. Right? It says both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So basically, ultimately, everybody in the society, the only ones who won't have to take it is the top elite, which happen to be their Edomites. Edomites are the so-called white people. Now, these Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Oppenheimers, whatever, all those top higher ups, those would be Amalekites. Amalekites happen to be the so-called the 1948ers, the fake Israelites, but ultimately JEWISH. All right, those are Amalekites, and those are the top Edomites. All right, but if you're not one of them, then they're gonna require you to receive this RFID microchip, and that's what this mark is speaking of. We're gonna break that down, but it says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Oh, slacky. Let me go into the word receive real fast. If it has it. Okay. All right. Now Esau Edom can't give you no spiritual thing. All right? Because it's their carnal, first off. But when you go into the Greek, it says didami. Didami. All right, didami. Okay? It says, let's see, to give something to someone. So how is Esau, Edom, who is this beast being ran by, gonna give you something spiritual? It says, because they're carnal themselves. Everything they have is carnal. Nothing is spiritual about Esau Edom. So they're not gonna be able to give you or force you or give you anything spiritual. But let's keep reading. It says to bestow a gift, it says to grant, to give, to supply, to reach out. All right. To cause, perfuse from oneself, to give. So ultimately it means to give. When you say receiving, it's talking about to give somebody something. All right. Let's see. Yep. So give. Can Esau give you something spiritual? No. But let's go ahead. We got to break down Mark now. So first, right at the top, that's already showing that this has to be something physical because Esau can't give you nothing spiritual. All right, and you have to have understanding on who the beast is. It's this rival-mated empire ruled by Esau Edom. Now he can't give you nothing spiritual because he's carnal himself. But it says so to give a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads. Now, let's see. Let's go to Mark. So Esau has to give you this mark. So can Esau give you something spiritual? Don't think so. We're going to keep reading though. All right, this is charagma in the Greek. When you go into the word mark. Okay. And it says a stamp or imprinted mark. Okay. And ultimately it's going to show this chip is going to be ultimately showing who worships Esau Edom, which means bow down to Esau Edom. And they accept Esau as their power, and the ones who accept Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right. It says, of the mark stamped in the forehead or on the right hand of the badge of the followers of anti-Messiah, anti-anointed. All right. And that's ultimately what you are if you take the RFID microchip. This whole system being pushed is pushing adverseness to the scriptures. But this is the point right here. Let's go into the root word. Oh, it says things. It says mark branded upon horses. It says thing, carved, sculpture, graven, work. Now, when you go into the word graven, it literally goes. It literally just Let me see. Hold on. Let's get Strong's too real fast. When you go into the word graven or engrave, it's something that has to be cut into. You have to cut. You know, and I'm gonna go into that. But let's see. It's in Strong's right here. It says. It goes into the word karax. Karax means a pale or stick, which we're going to go to. It says a scratch or etching. Okay. It says a stamp as a badge of servitude. So the only stamp Esau can give you is something physical because they're carnal themselves. They have to give you something that's what they are. They can't give you no spiritual mark. Not capable of doing that. It says, or a sculpted figure, a graven, a mark. Now, when you go into the word graven, we're going to go into that definition next. But let's get this right here. This is karax, the root word of charagma. Okay. This is in the Greek as well. It says a pale or stake. All right, and that ultimately just means a stick. It says sharpened to a point through the idea of scratching. So something cutting into something, man. That's what it is. All right. So it has to be something physical. But now let's go into the word graven because it says graven, one of the definitions too in Strong's. So let's see. Let's go back. Oh, Salaki. Let me see. Let's go back to graven because that's also one of the definitions of it. Let's see. Boom. Got to have that precept out too. Let's look at this. We're going to read it. It says, for as much then, this is Acts 17:29. For as much then as we are the offspring of Yahweh, we ought not to think that Yahweh's head is like unto gold or silver or stone graven by art or man's device. Now, when you grave something, you have to sculpt or carve it. Let's go into the word graven. Where is it at? Grave. This is the same word, charagma, right? All right, and when you grave something, you have to sculpt or carve it. It literally calls it a graving. Then you go right here. Oh, so lucky, this phone be acting up. Let's see. Let me go back to it. All right, where's graven at? Yeah, the app on the blue letter be acting up. Let's see. I want to get this right here. Inside entry. There we go. This is what I was looking for right here. Okay. It says things carved, sculpture, graven, of graven work. Now it calls this a graving. Something has to be engraved. Now let's go into the word engrave. All right. Let me just see. Let's go into my bookmarks. So we already got graven. It says graven is like something that you carve or cut or sculpt, right? And it literally just said that it literally just said that it's the same word as charagma, and that's what the mark right there is. So it has to be something physical. Now this is another word that you saw right there. You saw engrave. Okay, this is in Exodus 28:11. Okay, now we saw that when we looked at grave and the mark, which they both have the same word, go back to the same meaning. It has engrave on there. Well, let's read what engrave means. This is Exodus 28:11. With the work of an engraver in stone, like the engravings of a signet, shalt thou engrave the two stones with the names of the children of Israel. Thou shalt make them to be set in ouches of gold. All right, now let's look at what engrave means, because that's one of the definitions of it too. We just seen it. Let's go to engrave. Now you go to engrave. Let me see, wrong way. Engrave, yeah, I chose engraver. Let's get engrave. All right, let's see, this thing acting up. Engrave. Here we go, engrave, which means patah. All right. Let's see. I had to choose the wrong way. Oh boy. Oh. Okay. Let's see which one did I choose. I think I'm gonna go to the root word of it. This is what I was looking for, the root word. All right. So that just went to the root word of engraver. All right, and it goes into karash, and it sounds just like karagma. And Salakia for the app acting up. But let's go into the word. This is the root word of, let's see, which one was that? Engraver. You know. So that's the root word of engraver. Okay. So this is a person that does the engraving, right? But you go into the root word of it. It says karash, which means to cut in, plow, engrave, devise, to cut in. Okay, and this is one of the definitions of when you looked into engraving, and also when you look into the mark, that charagma, it literally goes into engrave. And when you engrave, you have to cut into something. All right. Let's see. Also, we don't need that really. We already got the point of that. So let's go back. Now that we have some more understanding, let's go back and read it again. It says, and he causeth all, which is speaking of the beast that we just learned about. It says both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. Okay, so everybody to receive, which means to give. All right, he's gonna give a mark. When we just read what that mark means, it means charagma, which is a stamp or imprinted mark. Then you go into the root word of it, it means karax, which is a paler stick or a paler stake. And then you go into another word of it, it says a graven or an engrave. Now what is it? What do you have to do to engrave something? You have to cut in. All right, and what are they gonna put the chip? What are they gonna use to put that chip in people? The syringe. That syringe-like device to put it inserted inside of people's hand or in their forehead. All right, but it says to receive, to give a charagma, all right, which is a stamp or imprinted mark in the right hand or in their foreheads, all right. So there's no way in hell that's spiritual. We already went into the word, what the word means, and that's, there's no way that could be physical. I mean spiritual. And then it's even more confirmation. Let's read the next verse. And that no man might buy or sell save he that have that the mark, the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. All right, which ultimately is gonna be on a chip anyway. It says, read the verse to the side. It says in that no one. This is the New King's version, that new translating. It says in that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. So this thing is physical, man. All right. Now let's go into a couple more scriptures that break down how it's physical. All right. Let's get this. This is Revelation. All right. Salaki. All right. Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast, all right, worship means bow down, and his image, and the image goes into the system of the beast. All right, the system, that everything they're pushing, their legislative system, all the stuff they're pushing, that's the image. Their military, everything they stand for. It says, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his right hand. So you receive that charagma in your forehead or in your right hand. All right. They have to give you that. They can't give you nothing spiritual. All right. And it says give in the forehead or in your hand. How you going to give something spiritual inside somebody's hand or in their forehead? That don't make sense. We went to what the word receive means. And then we went to what the beast is. And if they're carnal, they can't give you nothing spiritual. How they gonna give you a spiritual mark in your hand to buy or sell with? That don't make sense. You had niggas saying that the mark is sin, or that it's sleeping with a white woman, some bullshit. When you go into the word, it clearly just shows what it is. All right, it's something physical, which we know to be the chip. Next, let's get this. Lastly, it said, this is Revelation 16, verse 2. We're going straight to the point. And the first went and poured out his veil upon the earth, about an angel. And there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the MOTB, and upon them which worshipped his image, that where they bowed down to the system. Ultimately, that's part of their system is them pushing, the RFID microchip on everybody, making everybody bow down to them and having complete power over everyone like they're the Most High. Now, let's see. Now, let's go into the word. We're going to get sore, because noisome, let's see. Noisome means bad nature. All right. So bad, right? Let's go into the next word. So noisome means bad, and then grievous means the same thing ultimately. It says of bad nature, condition, diseased. So bad nature, right? It says, and then you look into the other word, it says foul and loathsome. All right. It's speaking of what's going to happen to the ones who receive the mark. Now let's get sore. To further justify that it's a physical mark. Now, it's in the Greek, it means helkos, which means wound producing discharge, pus, a sore or ochre. All right, and the ochre is something that happens with your stomach, but it says a wound or a sore, so it's something physical. All right, you go into the okay, let's see the root word of it. It says to draw, to drag off, draw by inward power, lead, impel. It says drag, draw. Yeah, that's that root word, not really showing nothing. But yeah, it says that sore literally goes into meaning a wound. So it's something physical. It's not nothing spiritual. A bad and real disease, sore comes from those, or to come for those that take the stabbing jab and take the RFID microchip. So it's physical. It's not spiritual like you got these false camps teaching. Now the spiritual mark is right here. And this is what the elect are going to have. That seal of living power. That seal of Yahweh Bashim Shai. The exemption from judgment. Let's read it though. It says, and Yahweh said unto him, angel, it said unto an angel, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, so through all the Israelites. It says, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that are done, that be done in the midst thereof. All right, and this mark right here, this is the spiritual mark right here. All right, and it means Tav, which literally means what? A sign of exemption from judgment. All right. It says desire mark. Let's go into the let's see. It's the root word of it is tavah. It says to scrabble, limit, mark, make or set a mark. To mark, set a mark, right? So this spiritual mark was done by an angel. All right. But that other mark, but the RFID microchip is going to be done by Esau Edom. An angel can do something spiritual. Esau Edom is carnal, he can't. But anyways, that's the point of this lesson. I already hit the nail I want to hit. But Lord wills, this was edifying. I'm gonna end it off by saying, call halal Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. The next time, Shalom.